Hello and welcome to another episode of the LCS Report, Worlds Edition, for the fans, by the fans. We got some really, really good games. There's only two best of threes, but they were best of three, so we got a lot to talk about. We can actually go into a little bit more depth. And before we start, as usual, hit that like button. It really does help us. Subscribe, join our Discord. That's where a lot of the community stuff happens, our talks and whatnot. And follow us on Twitter because we tweet a lot, especially during the World Championship. We got a lot of ideas and a lot of things to talk about, and sometimes behind the scenes stuff too. We retweet fun stuff too. All right, let's just get right into it. Top Esports versus KT. Obviously, the both of us predicted a 2-0. We knew exactly what was going to happen. We thought Top Esports was going to completely destroy KT, and then the opposite happened. What? Okay, hold up. I was not expecting this. I predicted the 2-0. I thought top esports, like the early games, are really, really good. I thought that they're very good at fighting and skirmishing. I thought like all the strengths that I could see with KT, top esports did it better. And then they didn't. What was the support performance? I think the Nico didn't land a single like ultimate ever. Maybe one person once. This was the most lackluster Nico. This is like worse than my solo king Nikos. What on earth was happening, man? Like, I'm not gonna say top esports are choking because I think KT legitimately played well, but like, was this 4v5? Like, it felt 4v5 to me.
The problem we have now is what type of narrative do we want to throw out? Do we want to throw out, well, KT got a good draw because they had two pretty easy games to start off with, and then they have a top esports who is internationally known for choking. Do you want to go that narrative, or do you want to go with the narrative that top esports are actually a legitimate team? And I do think this is a really big win for KT.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now the question is, because we spoke about it like in length yesterday, is Topper, they have exerted every single solution to put his team not mentally collapsing. I'm not saying they mentally collapsed in this series because I do think you have to give KT their credit. I think they played phenomenal. But is this now the start of the... We could call it the dumb one curse? Are they on that trajectory? Who knows? But what we do know is KT are the first team to, like, who would have said at the start? We, in our pick'ems, had KT versus Top as like that. Who's going to be the last team to make it out? And now, and now KT is the first team to go 3-0. So fair play to them.
I mean, no one would have expected that. No one would have expected that. And yeah, to their credit, like they showed up when it mattered. Like top esports put pressure and won the early games. Like I'm thinking of BDD. Like in the mid lane, game one, Jarvan goes
so
and kills BDD, right? Pre 4 minutes, I think it was like 3:30. He takes Scuttle, topside Scuttle, kills BDD. I think he was playing Aurora that game. Game two on the Cassio, he was like, "Oh, I can't kill Cassio by myself. Let me bring in my support." They literally 3-man dove a Cassio level before 4 minutes. Okay, level 3. They were putting a lot of pressure. They were playing their early games well. They were like, but the mid games, they just lost every single team fight because they didn't have a support. I don't know. Normally, when top esports collapses mentally, like the entire team just runs it down. But man, like 369 was playing at a 9 today, and it's just sad that he could not. He couldn't do anything. Like, what do you do when your support just mercilessly running it down? I don't know. This
I also think
performance
in that game one, like Perfect had like an exceptional Rumble game. I thought he was the unsung hero of that. Like he had so many multiple man equalizers. He was consistently in these fights hitting the harpoon, electric harpoon as well. Which, if people don't know, that thing slows you basically like a Nasus W. Like that thing, you aren't going anywhere if that hits you. And he was just hitting everything. I didn't get to see much of his Renekton game in like game 2, but game 1, I thought he was like. I know Doctom's going to get all the praise because he went like 16-3 in this series, but that game 1 was exceptional from Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I think was it Medic that was casting? And he was like,
Dracos.
"Oh, Draco." Sorry, I don't know why I said Medic. Yeah, Dracos was like that Rumble ulti was perfect. I was like, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, that's why I was saying I don't necessarily think, oh, it's so easy. Top esports, it's like not really. If you think of KT against Mad Lions Koi, how bad was it? They almost lost.
They should have lost.
Koi threw that game. Yeah, they should have lost. And now look here, they just stomped top esports. Like top esports, again, did underperform a little bit, but give credit where credit is due. This KT was not on anyone's radars, especially after day one. People were just like, KT is obviously the weakest Eastern team, and they proved us wrong.
And I think it's like it wasn't like Top weren't accruing some leads as well in these early games. Like in game 2, it was a little bit slower. There is more through laning, but like it was a couple of thousand gold up for like Top in that game 1 before KT they're just playing these fights for normal. And the thing is, they were so decisive. So that every time they thought that there was a fight to be made, they made sure that they were the ones winning it. They're just out skirmishing them, and like that's because like the thing is with KT, they're not gonna beat these top teams by outplaying them in the early game. It's can they make decisive calls that are gonna win you the mid to late game. And man, like I know, like there was never really any like strong rumors of like where BDD could go to like a C9. That was more like a hopium, I think, or more like a fan theory. But man, what I would love to... I've paid any money to have him on my roster. Like, that guy's phenomenal, and, like, KT really need to make sure that they can sustain him for the future.
There are these certain professional players that just play for such a long time. I mean, people don't remember, this guy won LCK back in 2020 with Gen G. Like, this guy is a champion. And he struggled and struggled and struggled. He was on Nongshim, like he came back on KT. He made it to Worlds on 2023 on KT. That KT roster that had to play 5 Eastern teams got out at 3-2, and then went and had to play what's it called? JDG, the best team in the world at that time.
Yeah.
Like you completely cursed. It was that Keen roster as well. But like, yeah, this guy has been around. This guy has so much experience, and he keeps playing better. That's the thing. Like, this guy keeps improving. He looks like one of the best mid laners in the world right now. Like, this is the type of player that you just want as your franchise player. Kind of like Faker, kind of like CoreJJ, for example, on Team Liquid. This is the type of player you want to. Once you get him, you hold on to him. You do not let go. And if North America can steal him, like, honestly, kudos to him. But it wasn't just the BDD show, like you were saying. Perfect. I mean, coming in, Perfect is a good laner with like decent macro and like kind of gets lost sometimes and not that great at team fighting. This guy was playing incredible. Peter, you wouldn't even think that's a professional player's name. Like, what? A Korean guy was support named Peter. You've never heard of this guy before. He was playing pretty well. Dokdom, obviously, we've heard before. Like, this is such a nice performance by KT. I completely doubted them. I thought the BDD Cuz combination was not going to be enough to carry this team. I was wrong.
They completely outplayed Top today. And people need to stop picking Jarvan. I'm sorry. Like, this champion is now 0-9 at Worlds. And this is a perennial Eastern pick as well. Like, how many times do you see over the years they like these combos? Like, because Jarvan's a champion that can have early game pressure, but is also like very, very good at comboing with like an Orianna or a Taliyah or a Rumble. And like, this champion's 0-9. Like, we thought Rek'Sai was bad. No, this is the actual like stinker of World. And the thing is, so many people
Rek'Sai won today. Rek'Sai won today.
Yes, he actually did. She did. Sorry, but like, Jarvan's screwed so many pickups, by the way, because he would have been like near the top. Like, him and Sivir actually.
Did you see Jankos?
No,
he had Jarvan as his highest win rate champion of Worlds, and it literally hasn't gotten a win.
Oh man. But
yeah. No, I like. Here's the thing: you can look at every single one of these games individually and be like, Jarvan wasn't the problem. But then if he's not the problem in every single game, he's not the solution. Clearly,
no.
Right? Like, for example, today I thought you can't like. Really, it's a little disingenuous to say, "Oh, it was Jarvan's fault," because did you see what the Nico was doing? Like, the Nico was ulting the air. The Nico was ulting Wukong clone. Like, the Nico was playing so poorly. But then it's like every game, Jarvan just gets nothing done. At some point, it's like, okay, Jarvan is not a good champion. And like, I feel bad to say that because I love playing Jarvan. I'm playing Jarvan right now, and like, I'm doing quite well with him. But it's just, yeah, in comp, people just are able to play around. The champions that are being played are champions that Jarvan just has no agency to do anything besides the early game. And like, most of the times they don't get anything done in the early game. If you're Kanavi, sure, you get stuff done in the early game and it doesn't matter because you lose every single team fight. So I don't know. Like, this is, I don't want to say this is the worst champion, but stop picking this. It was the same thing with Kalista this year at MSI. You just pick Kalista over and over and over, and it's lost every single game. And you're like, at some point, you can't just say, oh, it wasn't Kalista's fault. At some point, you need something that it's not its fault, but it needs to be the solution. You need to find a solution because
And
this,
the thing
this
is,
it's not
it's
working.
not even just a couple of players picking it. It's like literally the best junglers in the world are picking this champion, and they're failing on it miserably. And then the second they come off it, they look like a completely different player.
Yeah. No more Jarvan, please. No more Jarvan.
No more Jarvan.
Watch EU are gonna pick it tomorrow. What can I say? Actually, EU doesn't play. Yeah, G2 plays tomorrow. We'll get to that later. Let's talk about AL versus CFO. We both said 2-1 AL. I did not expect it 2-1 like this. I thought we were gonna get game 3 times. What was that game 1? AL got stomped. I was doing an interview with BDD right when the game started. So I was just like chilling, doing the interview. I finished the interview. I go over the tab. I think it was 1-0, right? When I left. So AL had gotten first blood. And then I came back and it was like 8-1, and they were about to get Arakan. A CFO. They were completely stomping them. So I rewinded and had to watch what was happening. They just found kill after kill. They were out macroing them. They were out skirmishing them. They were out team fighting them. They were out everything. That was not. This is AL. AL beat Gen G. AL beat like Hanwha Life. This AL team is good. Where did this come from? CFO, like
they're well.
Honestly, this is what I wanted FlyQuest to be.
Yes.
I wanted, even if you lose, like CFO can absolutely be proud of this performance.
Exactly, and I think they're a world-class team. Like, this is the type of team that you wanted FlyQuest to be like you said. It's where you're making these Eastern teams sweat, and you're thinking, thank fuck we were done with that series. Like, they're just so good. And next year, I'm going to be watching as many CFO games as I possibly can. And the thing is, they didn't do this with Driver. Driver didn't play a single game today. Because I thought at game 1, because I tuned in a little bit late as well. I was like, wait, no, this isn't Driver playing the silent, it's Rest. The guy that predominantly plays like the carries. That's what they bring him in for, is when you need a bit more firepower, you bring in Rest to play like these more aggressive champions. No, he played the entire series. I'm a little bit shocked by that, but then at the same time, this is Driver's first Worlds. Rest has been around the block. He knows, he's had more like high pressure situations. He's played at Worlds a couple times, and I think it's like 2013, 2018, 19, something like that. So he has been there for like the Taiwan teams. But man, they were so good. And now I just hope they can keep this momentum going into the 2-1 series, because now you're facing you could face a Gen G in that next in this next best of 3, depending on how.
Well, I don't think you can. You'd have to win first. Gen G would have to win first.
Well, we'll get onto that prediction a little bit later.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah. I want to talk about like specifically game 3 as well. Like, that was some fun League of Legends. Even game 2, like just games 2 and 3 were so much fun. Game 1 was a little less fun, but it was like a stomp. So like that tends to happen. But AL like do not crumble. AL keep fighting. Flandre, like, dude, Flandre has been playing for what, like 10, 11 years? This guy just doesn't stop. This is, like I was saying, you have like your flagship players that you want to be the cornerstones of your organization. Look at Flandre. He's a world champion. Left EDG, goes to another team, like, and has just brought AL, who literally no one thought AL would be good. They won Demacia Cup. They finished second in the first split. They won the second split. They finished third, sure, in the third split. But then now they beat Gen G. They beat Hanwha Life. They beat a legitimately good CFO. I don't know. How do you not consider this team a contender for Worlds? Coming into Worlds, we were like, maybe 6th best team. Like, Top Esports beat them. BLG beat them. We put Top BLG and the 3 Korean 3 Korean teams above them. You're like, maybe they're 6th. They're around like the KT level. No. They're like the first. They won 3-0.
Yeah.
Against legitimately good teams. It's not even the KT where like, oh, they had to play Mad Lion. No, they played 2 LCK teams and the team that beat T1. So,
and if you look at the past 3 years of Swiss, this is the hardest route that a 3-0 team has had to win, because I think it's Gen G had like G2 and there's, I think it's like
T1.
Yeah, they had T1. Who did they have? Did they have like Gam or something in their first game? It's
I don't remember. Last year, I don't really remember. I know LNG
know
was the other 3-0 team, and they had to play
LNG had like
BLG
LNG had like Damwon
and BLG.
yeah. So still hard, but based on the strength of CFO, and you are playing two of the three, in my opinion, heavy favorites to win this tournament, like and the favorites in Gen G. Like man, like fair play to you.
Yeah. Now, the 3-0 curse is something we got to talk about.
Yeah.
Last year, two teams won 3-0. One of them got knocked out in quarterfinals. One of them got knocked out in semifinals in LNG and Gen G. The year before, two teams finished 3-0. JDG and Gen G. Gen G gets knocked out in the quarterfinals. JDG gets knocked out in the semifinals. 3-0 teams don't make it to the finals. And I don't think anyone really expected KT, but to even make it to like semis or finals. But for AL, like you're gonna have such a long time off now, right? You're gonna have what, like, is it 11 days? Because you have.
You have almost
I'm
2
not gonna
weeks.
count in my
You
head.
have almost 2 weeks
The
off.
math is hard. Yeah, you have almost 2 weeks off, or a week and a half, or something like that. Sure, you're gonna be scrimming, but the other teams are gonna be playing on stage. They're gonna be playing with their lives on the line. They're gonna be learning. They're going to be pushed to the limit, and they're gonna come in much more fresh with a lot more ideas than you. Is that then a detriment if you end up playing a team like who could go 3-2? Gen G or T1 could go 3-2, right? Like legitimately, one of them between BLG, Gen G, T1, like one of them needs to go 3-2. You could pull a really hard matchup. And that team is going to be a lot more fresh and a lot more like have a lot more adrenaline than you are. And that becomes scary. I actually asked BDD about that, and he was like, "Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Like, I'm not just making up these reasons. He's the one that told me, like, yeah, it could be one of these things. Like, you pull a Hama Life, and like, sure, maybe you beat them in the best of one, but they just played a 3 games against T1 and against Gen G to make it, or against BLG or something like that, and they're a lot more warmed up than you are.
And the thing is, at least looking at KT, I think it's likely that the 3-0 curse continues, because I don't predict them to make finals. For AL, outside of Gen G, I think they will beat T1 and BLG like currently. Like the way AL are playing, because I think that they haven't just been decent in early games. Like it's these mid to late game team fights where like their objective fighting has been so clean, and like they almost pulled it back in game one with like the freaking okay, the fight ended up being aced, but they were able to like still Baron, and like if they would have played
Baron, yeah, you're right. The Maokai Flash Q Smite, yeah.
like
or it wasn't Flash. I think he just blast coned. I don't remember.
No, you did flash Q Smite.
He did,
But like they have the resilience of like a championship winning team, and like I do want to see how this team prepares for almost 2 weeks off, because as we saw with LNG, we thought, man, this LNG team is minimum semi-finals. Like the way they were performing in Swiss stage, and then that they got completely gapped last year. So yeah, I think KT will probably go out and cause AL.
It depends on the draw, honestly. Like
It depends, yeah. But I want to see CFO continue to level up and play. I'd love to see like a KT CFO.
that would honestly, CFO anyone would be really exciting
That's
at this
what I'm
point. Like I think every
they're
team
that
is like,
good
I'd rather
now.
play FlyQuest than CFO.
They're that good now that
Yeah.
they're making it a case of any time. Like no one wants to play CFO.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what that means? It means the next round is going to be FlyQuest versus CFO 100%. But let's get to next week's or tomorrow's matchups. It's the 1-on-1 bracket. Now I'll just go in order. You have G2 versus BLG. Now, who did G2 pay off? Or maybe it's like, I don't know what they did, but G2 has always been eliminated by BLG, and they clearly paid someone to draw BLG before the 2-2 match so that they don't get eliminated by BLG. Watch, they're gonna get eliminated by Hanwha or something like that. But anyways, this is a matchup where, like, based on BLG losing to 100 Thieves, you should expect G2 to win. But like, G2 looked very, very weak, very poor against top esports. They beat Mad Lions, sure, but it's like a domestic matchup. In general, the people that won the domestic matchup win the domestic rematch. I don't know what to expect from G2. I don't really expect much. So I think as long as Shadow's playing, BLG have the upper hand. And like like Shadow said, like I hope the European teams start playing better so that beating them actually means something. Which was a fire line, by the way, for him to say in his interview with Lore.
I don't think that we're going to be surprised at all by this outcome. I think it's going to be a clean BOG game because, like, to no surprise, when they sub in the jungler that actually helped them win the championship, it turns out they're actually a pretty good team. And when they're firing on all cylinders like that, I think G2 they're not going to be able to do much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to glance over that this festival any more than we need to.
I was hoping you would have like a different opinion and be like a little more copium and we could go back and forth, but honestly it's kind of hard, isn't it?
Ben's been a bit like hit or miss, but that would require Broken Blade to like significantly step up.
We saw Broken Blade versus 369 and that wasn't pretty. Although in an interview, Broken Blade did say like he came in with a strategy and it just like wasn't good. Like to his credit, he recognized that, but like yeah.
Still, it didn't look great.
It did look great. Gen G versus T1.
Oh.
I'm gonna let you start with this one.
Gen G. I'm just gonna like predict the Gen G here.
All right. Here's my counter argument. It's T1 at Worlds, bro. Like, come on. T1, first of all, like historically, T1 drops a game and then doesn't drop another game in the Swiss stage or in group stage. They've only ever lost one. So if we're just talking through history, history says they're gonna win. Now, obviously, history doesn't predict the future. History just tells you what happened in the past. I think Owner at Worlds, like the meta is really good for him. And I actually think he's playing better than Canyon. I know everyone's going to put Canyon top 3 in the world and like Owner maybe 4th or 3rd or something like that. Like, no, Owner's just better than Canyon right now. Canyon has so many off games and no one like punishes him or no one like criticizes him for it because, well, he's got Chovy and Keen. Right? He's got Ruler and Duro. He's got the best players in the world covering up for his like flaws. There's so many times where he literally does nothing. He's just like a passenger. And there are times where he's Canyon and he's completely gaps. Don't get me wrong. He shows up when it matters. It's just, do I think he's going to show up tomorrow? I don't think so. Owner has always showed up. When T1 are at their worst, he's playing great. When T1 are at their best, he's playing exceptional. This guy is incredible, and I think in a very heavily strong jungle meta like we are right now, I give the advantage to Owner. Like, Owner literally, he was asked on the LCK broadcast, or the Chinese broadcast, they asked him like, oh, is there anyone like you're afraid of? He's like, nah, not really. Like this guy is the same guy who
back-to-back world champion. Like he should have that.
No, last year at Worlds, I literally asked him. I was like, I asked him something. He's like, I'm not very confident in myself. Like, the guy with low self-esteem is the guy telling you I'm not afraid of anyone. Like that's when you know it's cooked. It's like when Danny was like, oh, we're gonna 3-0 tomorrow. That's when you know like it's over.
I just think that like I don't think we're at the stage where like the Worlds buff kicks in for T1. I think that is more significantly when the best of 5s start to roll in, and that's when Gen G feels
they've already played a best of 5.
True, but also they have looked a little bit suspect as well. Not just like I know Gen G lost to AL, but they were actually playing pretty well in that game before AL turned it around. And I was thinking the best of 1. I think Gen G are just gonna sweep this one. I just don't think that this is not where the pressure cranks up for either team. Like, when T1's backs are against the wall, that's when they are at their best, and Gen G are at their worst when the lights are like bright. And I don't think we're at that moment yet. And once you're in that 1-2 spot, maybe, because like you could just randomly walk into a Hanwha life. But
isn't it crazy that one of these two teams is going to be on the brink of elimination? That's what happened last year between BLG and T1. At the 1-1, they played, and then BLG was 1-2.
I guess it's only going to be surprising for the people that just think, okay, T1 has aura, so like anything can happen. But if you actually realistically look at their gameplay, like at this specific Worlds, you'd understand, okay, there's probably a reason why they're 1-2. Or could be 1-2. And like
they're not gonna. I have T1. Like analytically, I do think you have a stronger argument. I think Gen G do play better League of Legends overall. I just think T1 step up to the moment. I don't even think Gen G are going to play poorly. Like, it's not like I'm expecting Gen G to choke a little bit. I'm expecting them to play at their level and T1 to rise to their level. That's what I'm expecting to happen.
Let me ask you this then very quickly. If T1 loses this game pretty handily, do you think they get eliminated from the tournament?
It depends by who. That's the question. Because the teams that they can still play, that are like, they can play top esports. I don't think top is going to beat them. They can play BLG. I really don't think BLG are gonna eliminate them, but BLG is a possibility. They could play Hanwha Life. Hanwha Life could eliminate them. They can't play Fly. They can't play CFO. They can't play Gen G again. Yeah, they could play 100 Thieves. I mean, it's. I would say it's unlikely. It's unlikely, just because of the level of, like, if AL was still in and they could still rematch with CFO, I'd say there's like more of an opportunity. But AL have already made it out. They've already played CFO, so that and they already played Gen G, so that just leaves you BLG and Hanwha Life of like the Asian teams.
Oh, wouldn't that be
It's hard.
Zeus knocking out his old team?
Dang.
That would be a story.
That would be, yes, that would be every storyline for a year.
He would be
Zeus versus T1.
public villain #1 forever in Korea if he knocks out T1 on his way to winning 3 world championships in a row.
And giving Peanut his last dance? No, dude, the stories are writing themselves. Please stop. Please stop. We can talk about TSW versus Fly. I think you went on first on the other one, so I'll just get right into it. With Team Secret Whales, I don't think they should be underestimated. This team is a hands. Think of 100 Thieves in the LCS or LTA back in the day. They're very, very good at skirmishing. They're very good at team fighting. They're very good at finding these angles. But guess who's the best team in the West at dealing with that? At picking their fights and not making mistakes, not giving those angles, identifying what the enemy team wants to do, how they fight, and preparing for it. It's FlyQuest. Yeah. This is just a bad matchup for TSW. Like, I think they legitimately have a better shot against like a Hanwha Life or something. Not because Hanwha Life is worse than FlyQuest, but just because FlyQuest is like their counter. They match up very, very poorly. The TSW matchups very poorly against FlyQuest. So I'm very, very confident in FlyQuest. Like, obviously, it's the best one. Anything can happen. Like, even 100 Thieves took a game against FlyQuest in the upper bracket final. But I'm very, very confident in FlyQuest. Also, before I let you speak, something interesting that Bopo said yesterday after an interview with, I think it's the interviewer's name is Son Eun-so. She's Korean, but I think no. Sorry, it's with Fomos. Wrong. I'm mixing up the world. It was with Fomos, and Bippo said that he picked Mordekaiser yesterday because he didn't want to show picks, and that he has some spicy things that he thinks can legitimately cause upsets, and you could even play it in your solo queue games. He said that. Now, I don't think he's going to pull it out against the TSW, right? Maybe he just pulls a Mord for a third day in a row, but probably. I do think FlyQuest have a lot of strategies prepared.
The only problem with that is you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, because you need to make sure you take care of business against TSW first, because if you're on the brink of elimination, you're having to think, okay, do you risk the strategies you've prepared, or do you... Because if you're in 2-1, you can have a little bit more wiggle room in a best of 3 to pull out these spicy picks. I really like the Kled today, for example. I don't know if Bwipo will be playing a Kled anytime soon, but yeah, I think FlyQuest should win this. I hope so, because I'm personally giving 100 Thieves like a free ride at this world. So like, okay, you did your job. I didn't expect anything anyways, so I'm kind of giving you a free pass with FlyQuest. I'm not giving you any, like, you have no rope basically. Like you have to show up now, because you are meant to be doing what CFO did. So the next time, we need to put you in the best position now to give you that opportunity. Because you should have 2 best of 3s.
You know what would be the most 100 Thieves thing ever?
Mm-hmm.
It gets to 2-2. They get to 2-2 somehow. They play maybe like a MCoy or a Fnatic or whatever. They get to 2-2, and then they draw FlyQuest. And then there are sacrifices. Everyone's like, "Oh, thank you so much, 100 Thieves. We sacrificed you for FlyQuest," and then they make it to quarters, and we have 100 Thieves at quarterfinal. That would be the most 100 Thieves thing ever. Now, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be
Could you
hilarious.
somehow imagine, like, I don't think it can, but like an 100 Thieves CFO quarterfinals, and then you're suddenly thinking, wait a minute, that's probably the best chance we'll get at another semifinals. I don't think we're gonna get that, by the way, just to let you. I don't think they're gonna progress any more than what they've done already.
They wouldn't be able to because they would have to play either AL or TES, right?
Mm,
Oh no, they could. Never mind, because there's going to be more, three and two teams, so one of them could get lucky.
exactly. Yeah, with another NA semifinals, why not?
Easy peasy. I'd rather do it beating an Eastern team, but hey, CFO is pretty strong. I'll take it.
See, it's never bothered me when, like, you know, that last year there was a big commotion about, oh, FlyQuest beat an NA team to get out. That doesn't bother me because
Oh, it doesn't bother me either.
because and I'm gonna say this now, I couldn't give a single crap about, oh, they're doing this for NA or they're doing this for you. Like, if I was a player, I'd be doing it for my team. Like, the badge that's on my jersey, that's what I'm repping. And like, at the end of the day, you're all fighting for the one thing and winning worlds. Like, you're not winning it for, well, I know a lot of people care about region. I just think until you actually give us tournaments that are meaningful as a region, so like, for example, in golf you have the Ryder Cup, North America versus Europe, that's a big regional thing, and it's not for like really any money either. It's just for pride. Um, and that's how I always feel with League. It's if you started to give me a meaningful like a World Cup or like an actual regional like thing that meant anything. Like, I know they tried it with like that All Stars event. If you remember when you had like Sneaky and Hauntzer and Bjergsen, but
Yeah.
they didn't do that for me, so I don't get affiliated to regions. And like, that's even like, I'm from Europe. I don't give a crap about Europe. I care about, like, I care a little bit about the LCS teams, but I care about my team.
Yeah, I the reason I say like I'd rather do it against the Eastern team is because we beat them in a best of one. We haven't beat them in a best of five since Afrika, right? Or no, since IG in 2019. Like it's about time we beat someone,
It is
please.
long
Even if it's a
overdue.
KT, even if it's a T, like just give me anybody, just
Yeah.
please. I want to see us beat these teams. That's mainly why. It's not even like, oh, I don't think it's as valuable if we make it to semis beating like a CFO. I and like first of all, 100 Thieves already beat BLG. So even if they make it out, they've already beaten Eastern team, right?
Yep.
Which FlyQuest didn't. They took a game off of Eastern team of Hanwha, but they didn't beat them. But either way, I don't really care. We can actually talk about 100 Thieves versus Hanwha Life. Who do you have?
That trick question. No.
No.
On my life. On my life.
I'll tell you what's gonna happen. This is like me from the future speaking.
Okay.
Do you remember game one of 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest in the upper bracket final, where they had Smolder and they were completely outplaying FlyQuest for 35 minutes, and then Whippo gets a solo kill in the bot lane against Rumble as Mbessa versus Rumble, and then that leads to the complete collapse of 100 Thieves, and they get caught over and over and over again, and lose the game when they were up like 6-7k with a Smolder who scaled, who had like 10 kills or something.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen. 100 Thieves are gonna get a huge lead against Hanwha Life. It's gonna be like, oh my god, they're doing it again. They're really good at skirmishing at these fights. Or oh my god, Quid, he's arrived to Worlds. River, we love you so much. He's probably playing Jarvan. River Jarvan in the early game is like incredible. And then it's all gonna fall apart. One person's gonna die, and then the entire thing is gonna fall apart. It's gonna be 100 Thieves from last year where they just throw over and over and over again. That's what I'm expecting. Now, I would be happy with that performance. Get a good early game lead against Hanwha Life. Show them you mean business. Lose the game in peace. Win if you really want to. I'm not predicting the win, but I'm expecting at least get a like a 4K gold lead at some point.
I will say the area you can exploit is mid, because I don't think Zaka's been playing the best. The only problem is that like his jungler's Peanut, and that guy just
And his AD
runs.
carries Viper.
Yeah, like that. Like they just run rings around, like River. Unfortunately, like traditionally, like Peanut is just the ultimate like professional when he comes to like respecting the opponent, and he's not going to take River lightly. He's going to crush him. I think. Like the one thing I think 100 Thieves need to do is they need to pick something that like an explosive comp, kind of like what they did in their BLG series, where like you're just exploding the AD carry because you're just like diving everything onto him. You had like the Aurora diving in, then you had like the Ziggs over the top. You kind of need something like that to like explode like a Viper or something before the fight can even start, because I think that's your only way to win.
Yeah, you need these wombo combos. Like get an Mbessa plus Vi combo, you know, just like both of
And
you
also
press
put
R on her.
and also put
just
Dokla back on like a Sion or something. I don't want to see him on the
or that
Mbessa.
or Sion instead of Mbessa.
You just need like a
And give
meatball
him
that can do that just could just be obnoxious, because that's what he was in like the first series against BLG.
and please give FBI Kaisa. He's so good on Kaisa. Just give him Kaisa. Don't give Viper Kaisa.
I think
that
Viper's
too.
gonna
Don't
get
give
Kai'Sa. That's what I was gonna say.
Uh,
I'll be
Yeah.
happy if they
We'll
get
see.
Caitlyn, because I think it's winnable. Because Caitlyn, I don't like.
oh,
the pick.
if Hanma Life get Caitlyn, I was
Yeah,
like,
if I'm
I don't want to see FBI, Alon, Caitlyn.
No,
Comp.
no.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for predictions. We have four best ofs tomorrow. Sorry, 4 best of ones, not best ofs. 4 best of ones tomorrow. Should be interesting. I think the game I'm looking for, I think the game everybody's going to be watching is Gen G versus T1. But since there's only 4 games, we'll probably talk about all of them tomorrow. I mean, all of them are going to be interesting except for G2 getting slapped by Shadow. And yeah, we'll make sure to subscribe. We're on YouTube and follow us on Twitter because we do talk a lot there. The Discord link is in the bio, so join there. We'll be live every single game day, so you won't